professionals and budding and aspiring HR professionals as I am seeing here. Very warm good morning to all of you. And I also extend my warm welcome to this sixth HR Conclave organized by DMA in association with the Indian Business Academy and under the leadership of Mrs. Visoro. I must compliment DMA for three things. Number one, to have organized this conclave, bringing all the HR professionals from across the industry. I find not only public sector, from a variety of corporate and private sector enterprise, HR heads and HR professionals have been gathered. A good combination of the HR practices that is happening or that should take place. I think we would have a good interactive session during the day. Second, thanks to DMA for having succeeded in getting Dr. Atreya here as the keynote speaker. Sir, I have been listening to you ever since I migrated from Chennai, then Madras, in 1991 to Delhi to head the HR department of the Central Warehousing Corporation. And on many occasions, on the different platforms of IMA, DMA, Scope, etc., I have been listening to you, your management thoughts, your management philosophy, this best practices. I mean, certainly I have been benefited out of that management wisdom which you have always shared. That has also helped me in coming over up to this level. I must thank you for that. And I must say to our young colleagues, those who are seeing a career ahead in the management, I do not know how many of you have heard Dr. Atreya speaking, but if you have heard for the first time, you must dream of listening to him again and again on different aspects of management. Perhaps you got a time was short, otherwise Dr. Atreya could have told us in much elaborate details. The ancient wisdom, always he mixes the ancient Indian mythology, management from Indian mythology to the present contemporary management principles and practices. And third, the DMA needs to be complemented, but as I said, and more focus on the HR side. And we are already late in the session. Couple of thoughts on HR I would just like to share. The changing paradigm of HR, the complexity of business environment, globalization, highly competitive and complex environment in which organizations have to work, compete, going global. The HR has shifted from the traditional approach of, say, personal management, the employee, to the, say, employability, and developing the employees to take higher roles, talent management, motivation, higher productivity level, performance management systems, setting targets and measuring the performance of the employees in the organization. HR is getting greatly integrated with the business strategies. Earlier, the personal department used to work in isolation, sort of a thing, more doing of housekeeping, etc. Today, the HR heads are greatly integrated with the business strategy of the organizations. What am I going to do in the organizations? What sort of talent I need? So it's greatly getting integrated in the across the companies. Changing the leadership styles, fostering employees to take up leadership roles, accepting higher and challenging roles in the organizations, fostering creativity and innovation, and accepting or rewarding those employees who have a risk-taking ability, not the risk aversion syndrome. Sometimes we find in public sector, people are averse of taking decisions or new roles or new actions. But a true HR professional would groom his her employees to take risk, to think differently, and to act also in the organizational interest, if it is possible, differently, and to be properly rewarded. I mentioned about integration of HR with the business strategies. HR is integrated with the business to understand the organizational requirement, not only of today, but of the future, sustainable growth for the future, geographical expansion, suppose you are going global, to understand the requirement of the country, the laws of that country, and developing the people accordingly to take roles in those new geographical locations. So that is becoming an integral part of an HR professional, therefore making, of course, the roles of HR guys difficult but challenging. Performance management, the PMS, Dr. Athra mentioned about the performance management system, which of course I must say is a new concept in the public sector. Some of the public sector companies, evolved ones, perhaps were having their performance management system in a small little way, but it developed in the private sector much earlier. But today, it's a new paradigm in the general public sector where every company is required to have a robust performance management system, target setting at the beginning of the year, individual wise, and then measuring the performance at the end of that. The bell curve, a performance related pay, certain people to, and if you, it's a variable pay depending upon the performance of your company. How do you perform against a set target of the MOU, and the performance of the employees as it has been set in the beginning, and then you get that. So the performance management critically is both in the interest of the organization as well as the employees. If the employee has to grow, cutting across the normal seniority, have to produce a higher level of productivity. So this is becoming complex, and talent retention or talent management is the other big challenge in the public sector and to any HR professional. Talent identification through various sources, then nurturing and managing the talent within the organization, and managing the talent retention. At the higher level in a public sector, talent retention at the lower and middle level is not a problem because people don't, there is hardly any attrition. But at the higher level, talent retention is a problem. But for the overall organization to retain the talent, the critical need is the organizational culture. Are we as HR professional developing a good, sound, enjoyable organizational culture where the best talent which we have recruited is enthused to stay with us? Performing work culture, performing work environment, challenging but satisfying work environment where a performer is recognized and rewarded. Financial motivation is no more I think the Maslow's theory. The financial motivation in most of the cases is not the real motivation today. Therefore, companies and the HR professionals are thinking out of the box how to motivate the employees. maybe for someone, a challenging job or a global posting or some training abroad could be a motivating thing. Compensation, normal pay package, maybe sometimes, your medical, healthcare benefits or other things could be. So HR guys, HR professionals have been thinking out of the box in bringing it new concept and innovation in this HR practices also. I must emphasize that you may have a huge capital, a working capital or a capital base, have the finest of product, but unless your human capital is at its best to perform and produce, the organization certainly cannot achieve its goal. We must recognize and identify that human capital is perhaps the most important critical factor in the success, growth and sustainability of any organizations. I would, since we are late, we have listened to Dr. Atreya and my next section chair and the speakers have already arrived. I would end here by thanking again DMA in organizing this mega event, the HR Conclave, and giving me an opportunity to come, share my thoughts, and listen to Dr. Atreya and his management theories and practices. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such wonderful views from your end. I would really like to thank all the esteemed delegates on the dais. I'm sure it has been such a wonderful and insightful session for all of us in this auditorium at the moment. Thank you so much. Now, this is the time to show them some respect and appreciation, so I would like to request Ms. Nina Malhotra, the past president DMA, to come and present with a token of appreciation to Ms. Veena Swaroop.
I think Dr. Atreya should be on.
Okay. So Dr. Atreya would be honored at the moment by Ms. Nina Malhotra, past president DMA. I would request Dr. Nirupa Srivastav, Head HR Ayurved, to please come up here and please present a token of appreciation to Ms. Neeru Abrol. I would request Mr. Rajan Pandi, Director DMA, to come and give a token of appreciation to Mr. B.B. Pattanayak.
I think a big round of applause for all the.
I request Dr. Ekta Saxena to please present with a token of appreciation to Ms. Veena Swaroop. Thank you so much, everyone. Now, with this, we have come to the end of the first session of the 6th Mega HR Conclave. Now, I would request you all to please join for the tea in the dining area. I would request you all to please come back here and assemble at 11:45 as we are running 15 minutes late.
Hold on. Thank you, Veena ma'am, for coming all the way and all the delegates and all the participants. And Veena ma'am has some other meetings. She has to rush back. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And we will be meeting sharp at 11:45 for second session. Thank you. Haan ji.
in growth-oriented environment.